You don't wake up in the morning planning to compare yourself to someone, it just happens. You scroll for a few minutes and suddenly your life feels smaller. You hear about someone's promotion and your progress feels slower. You see someone more confident, more attractive, more successful, and something shifts inside you. Comparison feels automatic, uncontrollable, almost instinctive. And the strange thing is, even when you know it's unhealthy, you still do it. This video is not about telling you to just stop comparing. It's about understanding why your brain keeps doing it, because comparison is not weakness, it's psychology. Comparison is not a modern flaw, it is an evolutionary function. Long before social media, humans survived in groups. Your brain constantly scanned for one question: where do I stand? Am I valued? Am I capable? Am I safe within the group? In early human tribes, status mattered. If you were too far behind, you risked being excluded. If you were too far ahead, you risked becoming a threat. So the brain evolved to measure constantly. Comparison is the brain trying to understand position, not ego. Position. Psychologists call this social comparison theory. We evaluate ourselves by measuring against others, because without reference points, identity feels unclear. You don't know if you're good at something in isolation. You know you're good because you're better than average, or worse, because someone else is ahead. Comparison becomes the mirror you use to see yourself. The problem is not that we compare. The problem is who we compare ourselves to. Upward comparison happens when you measure yourself against someone who appears better, more successful, more confident, more attractive, more stable. Upward comparison can inspire growth, but it can also create inadequacy. If your brain interprets the gap as motivation, you improve. If it interprets the gap as threat, you shrink. The difference depends on self-worth. Downward comparison is quieter. It happens when you measure yourself against someone struggling, someone less accomplished, less stable, less confident. It gives temporary relief, a subtle sense of safety, but it doesn't build confidence. It only soothes insecurity. Social media intensifies the comparison instinct because it removes context. You're comparing your full reality to someone else's highlight, your struggles to their curated moments, your internal doubts to their external presentation. The brain does not naturally account for editing. It reacts emotionally first, logically later, and by the time logic catches up, the damage is done. In adolescence and early adulthood, comparison becomes stronger. Because identity is still forming, you're asking, who am I? What matters? Where do I belong? Without internal clarity, external signals become louder. You look sideways because you haven't fully looked inward. Comparison becomes toxic when self-worth is conditional. If your value depends on achievement, appearance, or approval, comparison becomes survival. Every success someone else has feels like a subtraction from you. But worth is not a limited resource. The brain just hasn't learned that. Scarcity thinking fuels comparison. If someone wins, you feel like you lose. If someone succeeds, you feel behind. But life is not a single scoreboard. Different timelines exist. Different paths exist. Your brain prefers competition because it simplifies reality, but reality is layered. Comparison is fast. It happens in milliseconds. Before conscious thought, your brain scans status, attractiveness, resources, social approval. It categorizes quickly because categorization reduces uncertainty. The problem is, constant categorization creates constant judgment. If you feel insecure in one area, comparison in that area intensifies. If you doubt your intelligence, you compare achievements. If you doubt your attractiveness, you compare appearance. If you doubt your success, you compare income or lifestyle. Comparison follows insecurity. It highlights where you already feel fragile. People who lack stable internal validation compare more. If you depend heavily on external approval, your brain constantly scans for signals. Am I enough? Am I behind? Am I admired? Without internal grounding, external metrics dominate. Chronic comparison creates anxiety, resentment, jealousy, shame, self-doubt, it slowly erodes satisfaction. Even when you achieve something, the brain quickly finds someone ahead. The finish line keeps moving. Healthy comparison says, I admire that. What can I learn? Destructive comparison says, I'll never be that. The difference is belief in growth. If you believe abilities can develop, comparison motivates. If you believe traits are fixed, comparison wounds. The only sustainable way to reduce comparison is to develop internal reference points. Instead of asking, am I better than them? Ask, am I better than I was? Instead of measuring against others, measure against your past. Growth becomes personal, not competitive. Attention determines emotion. If you focus constantly on others' progress, your mind lives outside you. If you focus on your own path, comparison softens. Not instantly, but gradually, because the brain learns where to direct energy. Comparison assumes synchronized timelines, but life does not move in parallel lines. Some people peak early, some peak later, some change direction entirely. Your timeline is not defective because it is different. It is simply yours. You compare yourself to others because your brain is trying to locate you, trying to understand your place, trying to ensure you are safe, valued, and progressing. Comparison is not the enemy. Unconscious comparison is. The goal is not to eliminate comparison. It is to become aware of it, to question it, to redirect it. Because when you stop measuring your worth against someone else's journey, you finally begin to understand your own.
Support the channel, hit the like and subscribe button.